Today, we will once again take a look at interesting footage that captures a moment. Ukrainian FPV drones silently blow up dozens Russian troops columns on front line. The video shows a series of pinpoint strikes on the Russian tanks and infantry fighting vehicles in the largest Ukrainian victory against Moscow's armaments. While new footage has captured the moment, Ukrainian forces destroying a series of Russian tanks and infantry fighting vehicles, IFVs, in yet more successful pinpoint strikes. Ukrainian strikes picked off 4 tanks and 2 IFVs, making it one of the largest assaults on Russian tanks since the war began over 2 years ago. The armored vehicles were traveling close to the village of Toneke, west of Avdiivka, in an area of Ukraine where Russia already losing significant military assets in territorial gains. Russia captured Avdiivka, previously a Ukrainian stronghold, in February, with fighting since spreading to the west of the city, raising the alarm over Russian advances as they have already claimed multiple villages. Ukraine's defense ministry reported the strikes on Monday, heaping praise on paratroopers from the 25th Airborne Brigade who prevented a massive attack near Toneke. Defense of Ukraine and the 25th Airborne Brigade both shared footage of the strikes, which appears to show the vehicles being wiped out one by one in a series of precision hits, but the 25th Airborne Brigade said it destroyed a column of enemy equipment. The think tank, the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, described the attack as the first battalion-sized mechanized assault since the assault on Avdiivka began in October 2023. While in March 2024, Ukrainian officials told media that 3 weeks of fighting around the village of Vuhledar caused the biggest tank battle of the war so far. Initial waves of attacks on Avdiivka inflicted heavy losses on Russia's tanks and armored vehicles, prompting Russia to switch to infantry-led attacks to conserve armored vehicles following the first 2 waves of assaults on the settlement, according to the ISW. The Ukrainian think tank, the Center for Defense Strategies, said Russia had reintroduced the employment of armored vehicles, including tanks, around Avdiivka. Despite the successful strikes, Russian forces continue to advance to the west and southwest of Avdiivka, according to the ISW's most recent report. On the same day, new footage appears to show the moment Ukrainian forces fought off one of Russia's largest tank assaults in more than 25 months of grueling warfare, highlighting the steep cost Moscow's military is footing in armored vehicles for territorial gains in eastern Ukraine. On Monday, Ukraine's defense ministry said paratroopers from the country's 25th Airborne Brigade had stopped a massive Russian attack close to the village of Toneke, directly west of Avdiivka. Russia captured the strategic city of Avdiivka in mid-February, and fighting has raged west of the settlement in the weeks since. Moscow has claimed a string of villages since taking control of Avdiivka, sparking concerns among Kyiv's backers over whether Ukraine can successfully halt Russia's advance westward. The airborne troops destroyed 4 Russian tanks and 2 infantry fighting vehicles, Kyiv said, sharing footage appearing to show the Ukrainian efforts against the Russian armored attack by the 25th Airborne Brigade. In a separate statement on Monday, the 25th Airborne Brigade also published the footage, saying its fighters had destroyed a column of enemy equipment. The brief clip shows several explosions engulfing a number of vehicles that look to attempt to evade the incoming fire. A Ukrainian open-source intelligence account had reported on Sunday that Ukraine had repelled a large-scale attack of 36 Russian tanks and 12 infantry fighting vehicles around Toneke on Saturday. The Institute for the Study of War, ISW, a U.S. think tank following daily developments of the war in Ukraine, described the Russian attack around Toneke as Moscow's first battalion-sized mechanized assault since the Kremlin kicked off its offensive on Avdiivka in October 2023. A tank battalion in this conflict typically has just upwards of 30 tanks. Ukrainian journalist Yuri Butusov described Saturday's push as one of the largest armored attacks for months, and Russia has periodically launched large-scale assaults using tanks and other armored vehicles. In the first weeks of last year, 3 weeks of fighting around the southern Ukrainian village of Vuhledar gave rise to biggest tank battle of the war so far, Ukrainian officials told the New York Times in early March 2023. In the initial waves of attacks on Avdiivka, which had been a Ukrainian stronghold, Russia sustained heavy tank and armored vehicle losses. During the height of the fighting, Ukraine shared footage appearing to show Russian military vehicles littering the fields around Avdiivka. Russia then switched to infantry-led attacks to conserve armored vehicles following the first 2 waves of assaults on the settlement, the ISW think tank said in mid-December. The Center for Defense Strategies, a Ukrainian defense think tank, had said just before Saturday's attack that the Kremlin had reintroduced the employment of armored vehicles, including tanks, around Avdiivka. Despite Ukrainian efforts, Russian forces have advanced southwest and west of Avdiivka in the past few days, the ISW said in its latest assessment. Ukraine also has destroyed the highest number of Russian artillery systems taken out in a single month in March, according to Kyiv, as deep concerns hang over Ukraine's stocks of ammunition powering its own vital artillery systems. Russia lost 976 artillery systems last month, Ukraine's defense ministry said in a statement posted to social media on Wednesday. Great job by the Ukrainian warriors, Kyiv added. Artillery, and the ammunition to keep the systems firing, has been a key part of the land war raging for more than 25 months in eastern and southern Ukraine. In updated figures published by Ukraine's military on Wednesday, Kyiv said Russian forces had lost a total of 11,142 artillery systems since February 2022. This tally includes the loss of 30 artillery systems over the previous 24 hours, Ukraine said.